All right, fam. So I know we a little late to the party when it comes to making these burrito tacos, but when I tell you we should have been slapped for how good these things were, oh my God, y'all, listen. And the sauce, oh, that was one of the best things on here. Now, if you love you some burrito tacos, but you have been scared to make them at home because you think they may be too complicated or just complex in the flavors, let me tell y'all, you just have to break it down where it's easy for you to understand. And that's what we're going to show you how to do. Now, making these burrito taco is it's just like learning how to read. You got to break it down, y'all. Break it down to the roots. Now, it's going to be comprised of four main things: the sauce, the meat, the tortilla, and the garnishment. And we're going to use our Instant Pot today that's going to help cook the meat. The meat, we're going to be using some beef short ribs and beef knuckle. Y'all, when I tell you this was one of the best combinations that you can use, but I'm going to give you some advice at the end about the beef short ribs. So we're gonna go ahead and start working on the sauce. You want to remove your seeds from the chili, and by toasting all of our spices that we just showed you, it's gonna help get a nice flavor on them. And we're gonna steep this in some hot water for about 15 minutes until them chilies get nice and soft, y'all. It's gonna have a good effect. Now, as far as the meat, all we're going to do is season these short ribs and this beef knuckle with some kosher salt and some black pepper. That's all you need. But you want to make sure you are liberal with this. Don't be light-handed with this. This is going to be the start of your meat. And then you got to sear it on the stove until it gets nice and golden brown. Now the temptation was real not to eat those short ribs right now, but we gonna wait and hold off. For the sauce, you're going to need some Roma tomatoes, and I try to get the brightest red ones to make sure they were sweet, a white onion, and then add you about 5 or 6 garlic cloves and cook with the onion mixture. Now you're going to see in this pot, I also added a couple of bay leaves, 2 tablespoons of cumin, and then we're going to go ahead and add our peppers and our onions into this mix. I had to do this in some batches because this little blender was not going to hold everything. And that was about 4 cups of water in the beginning, which really was a nice touch. Now, after that third batch, I added some rice vinegar. It's supposed to have some apple cider, but we didn't have any apple cider, so the next best thing was some rice vinegar we had on hand. Once you get your sauce all blended up, you're going to put that along with your meat in the Instant Pot, and we're going to blend, no, not blend, we're going to pressure cook this for 45 minutes, y'all. Ooh, this is where all the magic happens. Now, if you don't have an Instant Pot, I mean, you can still do this in the oven, braise it, but that Instant Pot just does something. And then why is this man always in the kitchen sneaking some cheese? I swear he's the cheese tester. We got to make sure it's right for the family, okay? Now we're gonna go ahead and get our garnishments cut up. I think that's what I'm doing right here. Yes, because we're gonna need this to put inside the tacos and for the end. That's why I said break it down into segments. Work on the sauce, work on the meat. Now we're gonna move on to the garnishments. These are all the things that we're gonna be eating on the side of our tacos. And these limes, cutting them into wedges, made me want a margarita. I was like, oh, I need to squeeze this into a drink or something. I know for the beer lovers, you like a Corona or something like that. Hmm. Yes, these are radishes, and we are going to be eating these on the side of our tacos. They add a nice little complimentary taste to the tacos with a little bit of spice to it and the crunch from the texture. You just want to cut these thinly. For the ones that we don't use, we're going to go ahead and roast. When we did our food bank haul and we had a whole box of, well, a whole bag of radishes out of that box, a lot of our subscribers was telling us to roast it because we're not used to eating radishes all the time. Yes, they come in your salad, but another way to eat them is to roast it. And then here we are without cilantro because you cannot have your tacos without some cilantro. Now, another way of cutting that cilantro up or preparing it without having to pluck each leaf off that stem, you can take your knife and gradually graze it. Just go down, just go down the middle, and then you'll slowly but surely see the cilantro coming off with no stem, y'all. Okay, that's a nice hack. And just give it a rough chop. We're going back to the meat. This is the start of the show. Now, we finally got this Instant Pot to do what it needed to do. And it did exactly, what it was supposed to do. These short ribs and beef was so tender. You see them bones just separating from the meat. So what we're going to do here is take all of the meat out of the bowl. Yes, y'all. It tasted just like the daggone restaurant. Oh, now you can see how tender it is because I'm taking a spatula and already starting to crush it up. This is where we're going to get our consommé. This is going to be the sauce where we're going to dip those tortillas in afterwards. Yes, y'all, don't throw this away. And it's not, just supposed to be up here. And you're probably looking like, why is there so much fat? But this is good. We need this. You're going to skim it off the top, just like you're making your broth. And when I tell you this sauce was so good and thick, you guys, that's one of the things that our family loved about this recipe that we made. The sauce was thick and it wasn't just watery. You see, the short ribs are easy to cut. Now, I did mention in the beginning of the video that I had a tip for the beef short ribs. They do have a lot of cartilage on it, as you can see here, which is those chewy pieces. Now, it's still good for you, good for our skin. Don't throw those away. We just not going to use it right now in this recipe. So just try to remove as much of that as possible because, when you're eating your tacos, you don't want to get a big mouthful of the cartilage. And then take you some broth, some of your consomme and add it right back on top of the beef to keep it nice and moist. Woo! Y'all, I know you can taste it through the screen right about now. Now, the next step to building the tacos are the actual tortillas. I'm going to be using some flour tortillas. This has about 20 pieces in here, which is good enough for our family. And we're going to go ahead and prep our sauce for our tacos. We're going to set it to the side, but you want to add you some onion, cilantro, a splash of lime, and just let this marinate so those flavors can infuse. So once we're done with the tacos, it's gonna be good to go. And this part is where we can get the oranges color for our birria tacos, y'all. Now there's so many different ways that you can make this, and we actually took the long way because we wanted to make it the authentic way, the true way, not the shortcut. Because yes, you can buy the birria bombs and cheat that way, but what's the fun in that? We wanted to do it from scratch, and you want to let that tortilla just sit on the bottom and just toast up a little bit. Now my husband said I put too much meat in here, which this one I pretty much did. And you want to just hold it closed like a quesadilla until the cheese melts, and then once you flip it over, y'all, the hardest part is trying to keep all the meat in it because it's going to keep flying out the taco. But we did all this hard work. You better get your butt back up in there. So I pushed that right up back up in there, and it was no problem. And then once we was done, so leave it on there about, well, 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Take it off, and whew, we got our first one. Now we doing these one by one, so after each taco, I went on ahead and just cleaned the bottom of that pan with that beef so it wouldn't burn. And we on to the next one. We're gonna keep repeating this process. This was the funnest part right here is adding the cheese, yo. Ooh. Now this cheese didn't get as stringy as I wanted it to, like the mozzarella, the cheese pull. And as you can see right here, I'm breaking down the meat, just making sure that it's not all lumped up in one spot. And you can add you some toppings inside your burrito as you're cooking it. So just now I added some onions, but if you don't want the onions or cilantro, you don't have to add it. It's pretty much up to you. And then when it's time to take that burrito out, right before I take it out, I just let it hang on the side of the pan just to drip some of that oil off before we put it on the plate. And then before you know it, y'all, we done had a whole plate full. Now I just went on ahead and cleaned it up a little bit just to make it look pretty. And when I tell you, y'all, our mouth was ready to go. And it was about 1:30 in the morning. Yes. Because we was recording on TikTok live making these. So you know how it is recording and trying to cook at the same time. But look at those tacos. Now here, because it was 1:30 in the morning, of course, we wasn't about to eat all these tacos and fix all these tacos. So I went on ahead and put them in the refrigerator in the containers. And the next day I said, listen, the cheese didn't do what I wanted it to do, and I'm going to get the cheese that I really like, that I'm familiar with, which is the Cholula. I hope I'm saying that right. Cholula cheese. This cheese melts so good. It's so delicious, and it has a better cheese pool. And I was like, you know what? Since we got so many more tacos to make, we done did all the hard work. I want to make sure I'm putting in the good ingredients, the best ingredients. So that's why I went on ahead and got the other cheese the next day. But right here, we're going to go ahead and do it right. We're going to put the onions and the cilantros right on top, along with some of that consommé on top of the beef. Woo. Now you can see I was rushing a little bit because I was hungry and I didn't let that one sit on the pan long enough. But don't worry, we're going to flip this bad boy again. Now that side got a little bit more done. But that's all it is to it with these burritos. If you break it down into segments, it's easier for you to grasp the idea of making it, and it won't seem so complicated. Just focus on one part at a time. And trust me, if we can do it, you can do it. And that's the whole goal. What we're cooking for you guys is to show you some easy ways where you can make your favorite restaurant meals at home. Now, if you notice, this had more of a cheesy look afterwards, and that's what we was trying to go for. Was that cheese pool, y'all. Now, let me tell you, I didn't know how many tacos this was going to yield us, but you seen how much beef was in that container when we packaged it. And the next day, which is this is the next day, all we did was warm it up in the microwave and it heated up beautifully. So even if you don't use all of your beef, mixture or your tacos that same night. We ate on these tacos for about 3 days, y'all. Yes, 3 days. And that was a big package of short ribs and one whole like chuck roast. But when I tell y'all this is one of the best things we done had in a while that we done made, oh, it was so good. Now look at this one right here. You can see that cheese pool on it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. I know you want to taste it. I wish we could mail you some right now, but right now capability. And here we are with our consommé, just adding some more, and then go ahead and dip it, y'all. Now I didn't want to tease you on camera with biting into it, but oh my God. It's nothing like that first bite. And when I tell y'all these tasted just like the restaurant, it tasted just like the restaurant. Now I ain't gonna tell you I forgot my husband's sour cream, but we made up for it with the crema. And don't throw your beef bones away, fam. The next thing you can do is to make you some beef stock or some bone broth. And that's what we want to do. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that. Like, share, subscribe, and y'all come back for the next video. See you later. Bye.